And we are recording. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 5:10 p.m. Pacific, 2/19/2021. I hereby call this session to order of the BSA the second Burbank Student Alliance Congress. I'm going to get out my notebook so I can take roll. It is now in order for a public roll call for the record. I will call each member of Congress's name, and they must indicate verbally that they are present. Mr. Dionysian.
Here.
Mr. Dionysian is present. Ms. Elmoyan. Ms. Elmoyan. I see Nina, but is she frozen?
Here.
Ms. Elmoyan is present. Mr. Tamani?
Here.
Mr. Tamani is present. For the record, Representative Kroll will now go by Finn Kroll. Representative Kroll.
To my phone, my computer is being all of the strange. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, I'll mark you as present anyway. Representative Kroll is present. Ms. Nazarian.
Present.
Ms. Nazarian is present. Representative Singh is not present. Ms. Sarian.
Here.
Ms. Sarian is present. Miss Angel. Miss Angel is not present. The person who we just got elected, and I forgot her name already. Tony. Pakanyan.
Haley.
Here.
Representative Pakanyan is present. Sorry. Miss Kohanim.
Present.
Ms. Kohanim is present. Ms. Santiano?
Present.
Ms. Santiano is present. And Mr. Stein?
Present.
Mr. Stein is present. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 members present and 2 absent, we are now ready to proceed. On today's docket, we don't have any bills or resolutions. None have been provided by either the executive or any members. I do remind you, you guys are free to put forth any of your own bills or resolutions, as well as initiatives, which we haven't actually done a formal initiative yet. That's a process you guys can talk to me about, and I'll help you through. We are basically going to be talking about what the different divisions are doing right now, because at this time, the BSA's main work is being done by the executive divisions, because the Congress has made a bunch of decisions, and those decisions have to be now carried out by the division. So we're going to be talking about that. Before we go ahead with that, I would like to recognize the Vice President to talk about the ACDD briefly and what they're working on. Mr. Vice President, the Chair recognizes you indefinitely.
I thank the chair. So, hello everybody. Once again, I'm the chairman of the Arts Cultural Defense Division, otherwise known as the ACDD. So as I said before, it took us quite a while to get things into motion, to get things robust with our first plans of the ACDD, with those weekly updates and a little bit of lesson posts that are about to come soon. Right now, though, coming next week, we're working on a panel discussion event, which would be talking about the post-war events of Artsakh, in which it will be covering areas such as the humanitarian crises, geopolitics, politics in general, and pretty much the aftermath, and discussing all these kinds of events and going deep into it. Currently, we have 2 guests confirmed that we are going to be, if I'm allowed to mention, Andre, may I?
Are they confirmed?
Yeah. So two of those guests, the first one is Representative El Moyand, which is also the director of outreach in our division. Her brother, Rich El Moyan, she will be one of our guests. He is a geopolitical analyst, and he's widely known. And the second one is our newly member, that was grammatically incorrect, our new member of the ACDD, our consultant, Eveluna. Her mom also will be a guest. She is a Pasadena City College political science teacher. We are really working hard to get that third guest in. A little bit of communication issue taking place, but we will update you as soon as that. Andre, I will update you too. But that's in terms of what's going on, and I yield my time to the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Ms. Lemoyne, would you like to be recognized to speak on this or any other ACDD related issue? Ms. Lemoyne? Is Nina gonna... Okay, oh, Nina, did you hear what I said? Nina, I asked if you would like to be recognized to speak.
Sorry, it's cut it. Oh,
On the ACDD?
sure. Can I get some time for
On
the
the
floor?
ACDD.
Yeah. Okay, so the event is going to be very cool. Please join us. Okay, bye. I yield my time to the floor.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lemoyne. So that's basically what we're going to be doing with ACDD. We are going to... With the READ initiative, none of it is classified anymore, so we can talk about this openly. I'm now going to suspend the rules with unanimous consent without objection. The rules are now suspended. So, folks, we're going to be talking about the READ initiative. READ, of course, stands for Restored Education Assistance Division, which is a division of the BSA that was formed to respond to the book ban. Now, I want to make clear, as we have in the past, but I want to do it again because it's worth mentioning. We are not pro bring these books back with no restrictions and just shout some terrible slurs from the rooftops. Nobody wants that. The main goal of this is to take the older classic works of literature, teach them in a modern light, in a proper way that is in accordance with what we know to be right and true, and in a culturally sensitive way. And then we pair that up with books on the same issue, in those the same general topic, but parallel from a POC author's perspective. And so using these two novels in tandem allows us to create a holistic approach to literature education as it pertains to racism in America, which, as we all know, is a terribly important issue that we just cannot have enough of in our schools. We need to teach as much and as in-depth as humanly possible, and we believe, the students believe, that this is the best avenue to go about this. Once again, and I know I said this all beforehand, but I have to say it again in case anybody's watching this back. This is what the professionals agree is the best approach. This is what the teachers union believes is the best approach. And so we're going to trust that the professionals know what they're talking about, and we're going to trust that this system will work. With that all said, who did we put in charge of the READ division? It was Eveluna, right? Eveluna. Eveluna is not here. I was going to have Eveluna talk. It's okay. I'll talk about that right now. So before we go any further, are there any questions about READ or what we're doing? Okay, fantastic. So we're going to start by having weekly meetings. It's going to be like a book club, basically. We're going to start by having weekly meetings starting next Sunday at 1 p.m., I believe, is the tentative time and date. We'll be working with Miss Lemaster. Of course, it's outside of school. It's outside of her time. So this is her personal time. that she is going to be using to work with us on this. It's the same as if you and Miss Lemaster happen to be at a park at the same time with the same book and have a love of reading. Oh, what a coincidence. No, it's nothing like that. But the general point is this is the way we get around the school's restrictions. The district, to its credit, does permit us to study the novels in small groups. It's not very specific with that, but you know. What we're going to start with is... crap, my back. Ow. Pardon the language, ladies and gentlemen. Of Mice and Men. We're going to start with this. Then there was a book written by a POC author that tackles very similar themes, which I'm looking in my notes for. I don't remember what it's called. But I look forward to reading it because Miss Lemaster says it's very well written. So we're going to read those two books in tandem. Then we're going to have Socratic seminars once a week where we talk about the novels. So essentially, picture an English class. Minus the assignments, the work, the worksheets, the tests. It's all the fun and interesting parts of an English class that people enjoy. That said, getting students to read books is a challenge enough, so we are very happy to partner with RP and have her help us out, and her lovely club. Hopefully they will be willing to work with us here. I would like to recognize RP if she'd like to say anything.
Thank you. I thank the chair. Yeah, we're really excited. Really excited to dive into these books and read them to get a better perspective of how life was back then and how we can better improve life right now. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for this opportunity, and I yield my time to the chair.
Thank you, Ms. Sarian. I forgot to reinstate the rules. With unanimous consent, I hereby reinstate the rules. Wait, actually, no. With unanimous consent, I suspend the rules. Are there any other questions about Read or what we're doing, or any comments or anything before I reinstate the rules and we move on? Fantastic. I'm going to reinstate the rules now. With unanimous consent. No objection? Okay. At this time, it is in order for any members to be recognized to speak on any issue that they wish to introduce or just talk about. If you wish to introduce a resolution or bill onto the floor, now's the time. Nobody has told me beforehand, but it's a formality. Does any member wish to be recognized at this time? Okay. With unanimous consent, we will move forward. Tony, what was the other? The debate. We're going to move to House Chamber B for security reasons. All information pertaining to the debate is highly classified. BSA's involvement in the public record will be stated. The chair recognizes himself for a brief moment to speak on the state of the BSA's involvement. The BSA has voted 2 weeks ago, Tony? 2 weeks ago to work with the WTP team and the SNAP crew to both develop, publicize, and encourage students to go to these debate, to the 2021 Burbank debate. The Burbank debate will be on the 18th, March 18th at 6:30 p.m. And we have a trailer that should be coming out tonight sometime if I can finish it. That is all that is currently publicly available, but we are going to be very transparent that we are going to be working on this. And I, as a member of both organizations, did urge BSA to adopt that decision for the sake of transparency. I did urge them to. Okay. I yield to myself, and we are going to move to House Chamber B. We're back. Mr. Stein, you're out of order. Mr. Stein, that laugh was out of order. Mr. Stein.
Well, to the viewers at home, I was.
Mr. Stein, the gentleman.
Terrible.
The gentleman will suspend. The House will come to order.
Point of information.
The
for
gentleman
viewers.
will suspend. The chair recognizes Mr. Stein for 30 seconds.
Oh, that's how you're gonna play this game. All right, I'll play. So, with that said, let the record show for those of you at home who did not see the beginning, well, right before the recording started.
Mr. Stein, the gentleman will suspend. Divulging information that was that occurred in House Chamber B is strictly forbidden,
I'm referring to the,
pursuant to Article 4 of the Operations Code. The gentleman
Let the
will
record
suspend.
show that
The
I am
gentleman
referring to
will
as-
suspend, and his voice will be stricken from the record.
let the record show that I was
The
referring to events
gentleman
that occurred in
will
House Chamber
suspend.
A.
The gentleman will suspend. The chair would like to apologize to the gentleman for forcing him to suspend, but I cannot risk the divulsion of classified information. Okay. At this time, are there any speakers who wish to be recognized before we end this session of the BSA Congress? Mr. Stein? Mr. Stein, are you still there? Okay, good. Would anyone wish to be recognized before we end the session of Congress? Okay. Oh, the chair recognizes Mr. Stein for 1 minute.
Thank you. Now, I would like to say that this has come to pass, and this has been an extremely eventful session. And disclosing absolutely nothing that occurred in Chamber B, if the gentleman would allow me to finish my remarks, he would find that it was perfectly justified. That being said,
Mr. Stein, the chair will extend your time by 30. Ani Nazarian, you are out of order. The chair will add 30 seconds to the speaker's time and permit him to continue.
all right. So, this entire time when I was wrangling against procedure was simply to say that mere seconds before the recording started, whilst we were still in Chamber A, I was singing in an obnoxious manner, which therefore resulted in the initial procedures against me, which were on camera while the singing was not. But for the record, if you gotta sing a patriotic song in an absolutely terrible manner, you gotta sing a patriotic song in an absolutely terrible manner. Also, I would like to motion that all meetings are started by a patriotic song.
There was a
And I
motion on the
rescind
floor.
That motion.
There was a motion on the floor that all meetings would be started by a patriotic song. Is there a second to this motion?
I second.
The motion is seconded by the Vice President. All in favor. We will now do a voice vote. I will call out your names. Please indicate verbally in the affirmative or the negative in your support of this motion.
I have a question. Point of inquiry.
Point of inquiry to the gentleman from the
The
freshman
yes.
caucus.
Oh yeah, the question. Well, is this gonna be played on Groovy, or do we have to like sing it horribly? Because I don't wanna hear that every time.
Mr. Stein, the point of inquiry is directed towards you. Will it be played on Groovy or verbally?
Let the record show that we will sing it horribly in such a manner that I will not sing because I do not want that to be on the internet.
So
The chair recognizes Miss Elmoyan.
Thank you, Chair. Is Bruce Springsteen considered to be patriotic? If so, then yes. I agree with this.
Mr. Stein, your response?
Could you please repeat? Your mic is a bit quiet and I was struggling to hear you.
The gentlewoman from the freshman caucus inquired as to the nature of Bruce Springsteen and his state of patriotism.
Bruce Springsteen, of course, is point of inquiry. Who is Bruce Springsteen?
The vice president is recognized to explain to Mr. Stein who Bruce Springsteen is.
Oh God.
I thank the chair tremendously with spectacular honor because of how huge this is that you do not know who Bruce Springsteen is. Have you ever heard the song Dancing in the Dark? I yield my time to Representative Stein II.
Let the record show that I have a vague idea that who he is, but no, I have not heard that song.
Mr. Vice President, the chair recognizes you to answer the question on Mr. Stein's behalf. In your expert opinion, is Bruce Springsteen patriotic?
No, in all truthfulness, Bruce Springsteen is not patriotic, but he is an amazing singer, and you need to listen to Dancing
Thank
in the Dark. 'Cause
you.
Brian DiMaggio.
The gentleman will
do not.
suspend. That is outside of the relevance of this topic. With that, we will call a voice vote. Mr. Dionysian.
Nay.
Mr. Dionysian votes nay. Miss Almoyan.
Nay.
Miss Almoyan votes nay. Mr. Chamani.
Nay.
Mr. Chamani votes nay. Mr. Kroll.
Aye.
Mr. Kroll votes aye. Miss Nazarian.
Nay.
Miss Nazarian votes nay. Representative Singh is not present. Ms. Sarian?
Nay.
Ms. Sarian votes nay. Miss Angel is not present. Miss Pakanyan?
Nay.
Miss Pakanyan votes nay. Miss Kohanim?
Abstain.
Miss Kohanim abstains. Miss Santiano?
Nay.
Miss Santiano votes nay. And Mr. Stein?
Nay. Point of information. I regret what I have
Mr.
done.
Stein, the gentleman will suspend. Mr. Stein votes nay. With 1 yay, 1 abstaining, 2 members not present, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the negative. The motion is not adopted.
I motion to adjourn.
There is a motion on the floor to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second, please, the love of God, second.
The motion is seconded. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
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 All opposed?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining? It is in the opinion of the chair that the motion is adopted. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
And my reign of terror is